Hello, everyone. Welcome in. By the time I've uploaded this, it will be Saturday morning, which means that 12 of the 14 playoff teams for the 2025 NFL season, 12 of those spots have been locked. Two are still up in the air, and as of right now, there are 16 teams who could make the playoffs. And today, I'm going to put all of these 16 teams into a 6-team tier list based on how far I think they could and or will go. So we begin with tier 6, which is, I can't see it, the Los Angeles Chargers, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers and Steelers may or may not make the playoffs. The Chargers are locked into a playoff spot, but I'd be very surprised if any of these teams won their first playoff game, let alone made the Super Bowl. The Panthers, just the metrics for their team, both offensively and defensively, are not good, and Bryce Young is just a wildly inconsistent player. They'd be a huge underdog in their first playoff game at home if they make it. Similar case with Pittsburgh, except Aaron Rodgers is 42 years old, has not delivered in a big spot in years. Likely their first home playoff game would be against Houston or Buffalo. I could not see them winning either game. And then the Los Angeles Chargers, while they have a very good quarterback, Justin Herbert has not played well in the biggest games of his career. He's 0-2 in the playoffs, was terrible in both games. The Chargers' offensive line is absolutely terrible. They're going to be on the road in the cold, and as an indoor team from Southern California, I can't see them making a run in the AFC playoffs. Tier 5 is, I'm not counting them out, but I'd be very surprised. Tampa Bay's been absolutely terrible for 2 months since their bye week, but if they are the 4 seed and they host an unproven Seattle team, I would give them a puncher's chance of winning that game. I would be floored if they actually made the Super Bowl, but I would give them a chance in their first playoff game. Green Bay has been basically dead in the water since the Micah Parsons injury. I don't think they can go to the Super Bowl, but I think they might face an unproven Chicago Bears team in round 1 of the playoffs, and I would give them a chance in that game, even if I wouldn't pick them. And then the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens have been mediocre all year, but I do think they are going to beat the Steelers on Sunday night. And if they get in, they will have the second best quarterback in the AFC playoff field. So I am not writing them off. Tier 4, impressive but unproven. All 3 of these teams will in all likelihood be top 2 seeds in their respective conferences. In the case of the AFC, the number 1 and number 2 seeds. The Broncos and Patriots, at the time I'm recording this video, both are 13-3 and are at home against backup or third-string quarterbacks. They should both end up with 14 wins, and the Bears are facing a Lions team with nothing to play for. I think they're going to get to 12-5. The Patriots have a really bright young quarterback. I like their coach a lot, but they're massively unproven. They played one of the easiest schedules in a long time, and they're going to be at home, but I think that's a bit of a detriment to them because they have not been a dominant home team, even though they are undefeated on the road. The Broncos' defense is excellent. Their offensive line is excellent. And their head coach, has experience going on deep playoff runs in the past, but I don't trust their quarterback, Bo Nix. And Chicago, I think Caleb Williams has serious physical upside, although I think he still has a little bit of maturing to do, and I like Ben Johnson a lot. They have a very good offensive line. I don't think that highly of their defense. I think they're very reliant on getting takeaways. I don't see any of these teams ending up in the Super Bowl, but they could absolutely win playoff games. The upside is there, but they need to show me they can do it first. Tier 3 are 2 teams you can't disregard, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans. I think these are the 2 best defenses in the NFL. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans with the 2 best defensive lines in the NFL. However, both of these offenses are wildly untrustworthy. Houston, I don't think they can reliably get to 20 points. You can't rely on them to get to 20 points. And the Eagles have had some just disgusting offensive halves all year. Both of these teams, I I'd be surprised if they ended up in the Super Bowl because of how untrustworthy their offense is. But with those defenses, you cannot write off either team, and I could see them in the Super Bowl for that reason. Tier 2, serious contenders, Seattle, San Francisco, and Jacksonville. Even though I would not pick any of these teams to go to the Super Bowl, I would not be surprised in the least if they ended up in the Super Bowl. Seattle's defense is incredible. They have an Offensive Player of the Year candidate in Jackson Smith and Jigba. And Sam Darnold's playing really well, even though he has historically not played well in big games. This is a big postseason for him. San Francisco, the defensive injuries are absolutely devastating. I think they really lack talent on defense. They really struggle to rush the passer. But as with Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh on their coaching staff, that's one of the best coaching staffs in the NFL. Brock Purdy has immense postseason experience. I think they're absolutely a contender. And then Jacksonville. Since their bye week, they've been a top 5 passing offense. Trevor Lawrence has played incredibly well. They have a lot of different receivers they like to throw to. I like their running game as well, and I like their head coach. And I think they're going to be playing at home in the playoffs. At least one game, potentially multiple. If the Broncos or Patriots fall early, I think they're serious contenders. And then Tier 1, what I think will be the Super Bowl matchup this year, the Los Angeles Rams and the Buffalo Bills. It's very possible that both of these teams are the 6 seeds in their respective conferences, and this will be the first time ever that the 2 6 seeds, or possibly a 6 seed and a 7 seed, if Buffalo throws the game against the Jets tomorrow on Sunday, which I think they should. I think both of these teams, the Rams, I think, have the best roster in the NFC with the best quarterback in the NFC and the best coach in the NFC playoffs. They've had some goofy losses, but when that offense is clicking, they should get Devontae Adams back. That passing offense is the best in the playoffs. And they have a very good defense as well, with a great defensive line that can really rush the passer. And then Buffalo. They're a flawed team, but 4 of the last 5 years, it's been Kansas City and Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes that has prevented them from getting to the Super Bowl. The other year it was Cincinnati who blew them out. Both of those teams are out. With how little experience is in this AFC playoff field, really the second most experienced AFC playoff team would be Baltimore or Houston. Baltimore, it really hasn't been one team preventing them from getting to the Super Bowl. If anything, it's been the Bills who's prevented Baltimore from getting to the Super Bowl. And I guess the other really experienced team in the AFC playoffs would be Houston. But I think Houston, with that offense, has a real ceiling, especially if they have to go on the road in the divisional round, which I think they will. Even if Buffalo's the 7 seed, I would pick them just because they have the best quarterback in the AFC playoffs by far, and they have the best running game and arguably the best offensive line. The defense is a real concern, especially the run defense, and they really don't play good football consistently in the first halves. But I think if they can get that straightened up, and if they can at least be in these games at halftime, I think they will go to the Super Bowl, especially if Josh Allen takes his game to another level, which he tends to in the postseason. So these are my 6 2025 NFL season postseason team tiers going into Week 18. Again, 2 of these teams, I predict that it will be Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay, will be eliminated from the playoffs by the end of this weekend, so it'd be down to 14 teams. But of the 16 teams that are alive for the playoffs right now, this is how I see the tiers stacking up. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Next week, I will have an in-depth dive into each of the wildcard games, including who I think is going to win each game, and the playoff bracket as a whole. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.